After further consideration, we decided that we're gonna put these 2 geese in our freezer. Fall has arrived here on the homestead, and also our first frost. Our first official fall on our new land, guys. This is exciting because fall time is our favorite time of the year. Fall in love with fall. Water's starting to freeze. The grass is frozen, you know, it's getting frosty. Zeke! It also means that our season finale is coming up, guys, and that usually means of butchering an animal. Last year was our 2 pigs, and this year is going to be our 2 beefy boys. Also, Thanksgiving's coming. We got to butcher these turkeys too. Look at this lush grass, guys. I'm excited about this grass, man. Look at this. Look at what we grew this year. This is one of the better spots on the land here. The beefy boys hadn't been in this spot in, I think, about 3 months. But in the meantime, we've had chickens here, you know, meat chickens, turkeys. They were in our apple orchard. Our cage, our DIY cage with the sticks, guys. Yeah, this didn't work. Yep, I knew that wasn't gonna work. I told you. I think we kind of hoped, you know, we hoped that this would work because we really didn't want to go buy anything. You know, kind of make do with what we have, but it didn't work. They busted through this thing. They started eating the leaves. Not every tree. This one held up. They didn't even touch this one. This one they busted through. Kind of fixed it a little bit, but yeah, these trees are still gonna be fine. They're still new. They completely demolished them. Now we know that sticks don't work, and we got to put something a little bit more beefier for the beefy boys. Actually, I mean, they're not going to run through this again. You know, we're going to be putting them in our freezer. We got to get it ready for the next beefy boys that we get next year. Hey, turkeys. Thanksgiving is coming. Thanksgiving is coming. Thanksgiving. I love how versatile these chicken coops are, man. As soon as the meat chickens were out of here, you know, we're having trouble with our turkeys flying over our system that we had, flying over the netting, and this keeps them safe. As much as I don't want to put them in here, you know, I want them out, but they're just gonna fly away or get eaten by a coyote, which we lost one already to a coyote. That's the big one right there, the big Tommy. Big Tom. Turkey for me, turkey for you. I would say the Tom turkey, the male turkey, definitely eats a lot more than the females. There you go, turkeys. We're butchering only 2 geese today, so that makes it a little bit easier. You know, we're not doing our usual 40 meat chickens. You want Christmas goose?
Yes, I'm already planning on it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We kind of had our mindset on that long ago, I think. Why are you so sad, Lorraine?
I guess I'm just really discouraged because I'm trying to have a winter garden, and we spent so much time on the raised beds. We filled the soil. We spent a whole day of it, and I had some kale that I had planted earlier this year, and they hadn't grown all year long because bugs were eating them. But finally they started to grow and they looked beautiful. And I hadn't picked them because they looked so beautiful. It was a beautiful row of kale. And so we went out and we bought collard greens, and I had some starts for, I started some purple cauliflower. I had some cabbage, and I had some heads of lettuces, and we put them all in the raised beds and they looked beautiful. Well, we went to bed, and the next morning I came out and a chicken had gotten to all of them. The garden beds are just destroyed by one chicken who keeps getting out. And we can't put that chicken out because Penelope loves that chicken. Oh, but I'm so frustrated because we only have this really tiny garden. Like we used to, at our old property, had this big giant garden. So if something got eaten, it wasn't really that big of a deal, even though we did deal with pests. But I'm like, this is all I had and you ate it.
We initially got the geese to be our guard geese. We had them with our meat chickens, and the way we raise meat chickens are in chicken tractors, are in movable chicken coops that we move every single day, sometimes twice a day, and they pretty much just stay in these coops. Sometimes we do let them out, but for the most part they're in these coops. And because we do that, having guard geese really didn't make sense for the meat chickens. Then we got turkeys, and we put one of the guard geese with the turkeys, and that worked pretty well because we raised them in an electrical netting until the turkeys started flying out. Come on, turkeys. And then I had them put them in the chicken tractors, and then I really didn't have use for the guard goose with the turkeys after that. Then we put the guard goose with some of our egg layers. Now, it would honk quite a bit. You know, at us, you know, at a bird just flying around, it would honk at them, which is, I guess, what you want, right, for a guard goose. Then the goose started messing with the chickens, and then it started wanting to bite us. And what we've learned raising ducks in the past is that any kind of waterfowl and chickens do not mix. I don't like having them together because they will get their water dirty. Any kind of waterfowl, geese, they are pigs with feathers. We try to make it work, and we try to keep them, and we want to maybe reproduce them, and hopefully they will hatch out some eggs for us. But then we're like, do we really want to hatch out geese eggs? Maybe not these geese, but maybe in the future we will. Maybe a different kind of geese. Maybe we could try out different breeds and see which one we like. This is a little bit different than a chicken. This is a waterfowl, so this is going to be a little bit harder to pluck. I have the temp at 160. We put some soap in here, and we just need to really agitate it.
Set the timer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking this is going to end up taking like 2 minutes, maybe. Use a stick if you have to. It's coming out.
Seems good. What about the wings? Not that we saved that, but I always feel like that's a good tester. Oh yeah, that looks good.
Seems pretty easy to pluck by hand.
Okay, timer. And it was 2 minutes.
All right, 2 minutes. Turn it on, and then we'll put this in there. You ready?
Yeah.
Come on, baby. We got a lot of we got the bigger wings off. We're gonna try it again. When you're butchering chickens, turkeys, anything, you get pooped on, you know? It happens. Poop all up and down my leg. So remember to close your mouth. Fall time is a perfect time to process any kind of animal. 100 years ago, this was the time to process the pigs, you know, on first frost. Yeah, these little tiny feathers, they're like down feathers that we're trying to pull off.
Okay, so the feathers on this one actually came out cleaner because we tried a new method. Rather than this one, we had to spend a lot of time hand plucking all of the pin feathers and the downy feathers. So what we did with this one was we dunked it in the water as normal and agitated, but we realized that the water wasn't penetrating through the inner layer of the downy feathers. So it was just able to loosen the outer layer of feathers, which we were able to pull off really easily. But once we did that, we took off this outer layer of feathers and revealed these little downy feathers. They were completely dry, so we dunked it again. That was our secret trick, was the second dunking after we took off the outer layers. And look at how clean and good it looks.
I'm the bus boy today. I'm the helper. We got our 2 butchers here. Penelope, you're a butcher?
Yeah.
Today? Last goose?
That's it.
This is the bigger one. That might be Christmas goose. They might be both Christmas geese, right?
Yeah, I mean, because there's really not much meat on this one.
Was that different than a chicken?
It wasn't really much different. There was, I mean, obviously they have a bill instead of a beak and webbed feet, but I mean, it wasn't much different. The necks were harder to break off, and they had a lot more fat. and everything's just larger, like the liver and the hearts, but it wasn't much different. It was the same.
I guess the hardest thing is the plucking. The plucking is a little bit different. It's longer, a little bit more hotter scald. Yeah, their feathers just, you know, they're waterfowl. So that's what they do. They love the water, and they have a lot of oil on them. So that part was the most difficult part. But once you get past that, it's just like a chicken. There's one way to get rid of your guts. You know, you got a gut bucket here, and you could always just give them to your chickens. Chickens are not vegetarians, you know, they love this stuff. All right, it's been 48 hours since we butchered our 2 geese, and now we need to put them away because they've been in our fridge.
While we were eviscerating both of these, I highly expected Barbara to be a male. And to our surprise, when we cut Barbara open, she had a bunch of eggs. There were developing eggs in her cavity. So she was the one who laid us the 1 egg. Deborah was still underdeveloped, so she was still female, but both were females.
These are big custom cut vacuum seal bags because these are big birds. We've gone through so many vacuum sealers in the years, but one that we love, that we've had for I think a couple years now, is this vacuum sealer from Excalibur. I'll leave the link down to this down in the show notes. You know, when you grow all the food, all the chickens, the meat, having a commercial grade vacuum sealer is important.
This is our bigger goose.
What's your plan for that? What are we doing with these geese?
We are doing Christmas goose in the oven with the bigger one, and then with the smaller one, I saw some recipes online for goose pastrami. So I might give that a try, we'll see. I don't know, we'll see. There's not much meat on this one, so we might just put them both in the oven.